why do you need to come back, right? It was working fine. Why? And micromanagers are like, I need to literally watch you. You got to understand the environment and see if there's something you can do. Self-reflect yourself. Studies shows it, and if you Google whitening resume, a lot of people are concerned about it. There are people that are saying it's slacking off, don't do it. And there are people who are saying, you know what? Why would I go above and beyond, right? It's more like I'm going to go somewhere that I am celebrated. And today I have a guest, Sweta. She is joining us all the way from Dubai, and she's an influencer. She's a certified therapist and licensed hypnotherapist. She's going to talk about how do you manifest what you want in 30 days. And we're going to be opening up questions a little bit later on. But Gulneet, what made you come along on this journey? Because you do have HR background. I know you from I know you from back in the days where you were killing it as an HR person. So what made you become who you are today? Share us your story.
Leadership team. I'm also a certified coach, just to let you know. And a few years back, we had a family tragedy. It was a life-changing event. Somebody in the family lost their life to depression, and that's when everything changed in my life too. So I decided to dedicate my life to the society, to basically help people come out of anxiety, problems that limits them. And then definitely, as I was on the journey, I started learning more and more, and I said, well, that is not enough. So let me also see how people can recreate their personal reality. And I got certified in quantum meditation, which is the law of manifestation. I personally manifested my personal reality. So from my first apartment, my second apartment, and then my new job, whatever I wanted. And I saw it happening. And when I saw it happening, I said, well, let me now go out and tell people about this fantastic experience and what you can do, because manifestation is science. And if you understand the science of manifestation correctly, you can get whatever you want. And we'll talk about more. So, but over to Sweta now.
Thanks, Gulneet. For those of you want to come back and watch the replay, I am streaming this live on YouTube as well. You can save this because this is going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to finding out the techniques of manifestations, and I do believe in it. I was doing all my life, but there's no technique to it, and I know it, it works. Give me thumbs up on the audio live audience if you do believe in manifestation. Give me thumbs up if you're here because you've been doing this all your life. All right, a lot of thumbs up here. Awesome. And you know what? You are allowed to come and ask questions to her directly. A couple of minutes later, once we start opening the floor, I see a lot of hands are being raised. We will get to you. And you know what, Gulneet? Is there a specific technique that people should potentially follow to get the awesome results when it comes to manifestation?
So, okay, so when we are talking about manifestation, let's understand that
you're cutting out. It just cut out. Go on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
The manifestation is a scientific technique. So,
go on.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are now.
So, manifestation is a scientific technique. It is about your electromagnetic frequency that you reflect in the quantum. So in life, we have everything around you, even your mobile phone, everything has frequency. Now, if everything has frequency, what you are basically trying to do is match your frequency to the frequency of the object or place or anything that you want. It could be a potential opportunity. How do you do that? Because it's electromagnetic frequency, first you need to work on your survival emotions. So that if you doubt, you will not be able to manifest. A lot of people do vision boards, and a lot of people say, oh, we wake up each morning and we wake up with the thought that we want this. Thought alone is not enough for you to manifest. You need to be that person. So thought is an electrical discharge in your brain, and when you get feelings from that thought is magnetic frequency into the quantum, which is into the universe. When you have survival emotions of doubt, fear, or anything that is stopping you to manifest, it brings down the feeling, because you may think, you could possibly think, oh, I want a job in Google, I want a job in any other company, which is your dream job. But if you don't marry that thought with a feeling and become that person as if you are living your tomorrow today, you will not be able to manifest. So, what is basically the secret recipe? You have to live your present as if it's tomorrow. So it's basically bringing the tomorrow to your current present. Wake up each morning in that future, and that's the only fastest way you can manifest. And when you are manifesting, the only thing that you need to make sure is to keep your survival emotions in control. I'll give you a classic example. If so there's somebody who came to me, they wanted to learn the art of manifestation, and has gone through a lot of treatments of IVF, and said, well, I want a baby. And the first thing that I asked her, so tell me about your fears. She said, well, I do want a baby, but I am scared of going into labor. So now that's very important for you to consider, because having want a baby is a thought, but if your feelings are not marrying the thought, which is like if you're scared going into the labor, you will not be able to manifest what you want. So that's very important, to make sure your survival emotions, which is your fear, self doubt, has to be kept in control. Only then you can start manifesting. Manifestation does not happen in a day or 2 days, because it takes time for you to first get rid of your survival emotions. Now, that could be anxiety, that could be like fear of getting something. You want to get rich, you want to attract wealth, but at the same time, what is your personal reality right now? If you care about each and every penny that you spend, that's fear, because you don't want to spend more, because you have that fear that you'll end up spending everything. That is not going to help you manifest wealth. Fear is the biggest obstacle. Self doubt is another obstacle. So if you take care of all these things, you will definitely be able to manifest things much faster than you expect.
That is amazing. And you know what? Talking about personally, I remember when I was probably like 19 years old or something like that. And then when I was sitting with my mother, I told her, I don't know how it came to me. And then I said, you know what, Mom, I think I'm going to be in the United States probably next year. I have this feeling. And the reason was because, I got arranged marriage, right? And I got married to my best friend's uncle that I'd never seen him. And I think my mindset was, everyone started to tease me, saying that I think you're going to be very good for a fit for our family. And then I think unknowingly, subconsciously, I started to plant the seed in my head. And because he was in States, and I started to like dream about it, landing in States, marrying him, dating him, stuff like that. I literally talked to him for 5 minutes, and then we said, okay, you know what? We're the right fit. And I got married, and I think I've been married for now. I got married in 2000, right? And when I look back, I felt like I was so confident that I wanted to marry this guy, and I was so into it. Do you think, does it have to do anything with the manifestations? And I did not know at that time I was manifesting. So what are your thoughts on it?
Yes, definitely. So you're basically playing a mind movie. And if you go to this website called Movie, it revolves around the same concept. So what you're basically doing is you're firing and wiring neurons in your mind, creating a reality of tomorrow in the present time. So when you create that picture in your mind and you hit on that program again and again, your body automatically pushes you to implement that program. So that definitely works. But playing a mind movie will possibly help you take relevant action. But sometimes people do not take action. So let's say you were playing a mind movie, you were thinking in your head that, yes, I'm going to do that. And you were doing consistently without doubt. And you had firm determination, which possibly you were also feeling somewhere in your body, especially in your heart. What are you going to do when you go there? How are you going to feel? Feelings are so important in manifestation. I cannot tell you how much importance your magnetic frequency has. So if you are standing anywhere, your electromagnetic frequency extend to 2 feet in normal scenario. As your survival emotions go down, your frequency becomes higher and higher. It can go up to 6 feet. Now, imagine if you do display your electromagnetic frequency where you have no fear, no self doubt, how much potential you can attract within the radius of 6 feet. Now, this is only in person. Everything, every object, everything carries a frequency. And it's not just about 6 feet, it's about how far can that frequency go? How did you marry that person? How did that turn out to be your friend's uncle, as you said,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But in your mind, you were so tuned in that you want to go there. And the first path to get there was this. And you probably did not see anything, maybe the age gap, maybe how he looks. No, because you had that mind movie playing in your head so strong that you just wanted to take the first step available to reach your goal. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. And you know what? And that's so
Yeah,
right because, and the other thing, let's move, shift that from love, manifesting the love, right? We all need that in life to the
right.
career. And I moved to the States and he got laid off and we moved to Canada. And I remember when I was going to the specific store, there was the store called Best Buy. And that was, I was like looking at them and there was a store called Future Shop where they were selling the electronic gadget and everything, and there was a customer service role. I was new at that point. I was not even, I didn't even go to college, and I literally dream about, I wish I could work here one day. I put it in there. I still remember. And you know what? Later on, when I was studying, it was subconsciously in my mind. I forgot about it and I worked there. The other one was I wanted to work with one bank because someone opened the account for me. I looked at her, well suited, like, well dressed up in the cabin. I was like, I wish I could work here. I got the offer there. I worked there as well, right? And I think it was just in my mindset, I was planting it. There are so many scenarios to the point that couple of when I became an entrepreneur, I started imagining things, going and getting a speaking gig, getting a branding deals and everything. And I literally had all those media on my flyer, put it on the vision board, which we're going to go through it. And that really worked for me, that people from CNBC, the national channel, they reached out to me. All I was doing was I was planning and I was thinking every day. And just like the way you said it was, I was feeling being on the camera and talking to the national news, interviewing them. Now, do you think writing it, pulling all those information on the vision board helps at all? We can't hear
You
you.
possibly do is
Okay, go on.
you're connecting to the quantum. You so what is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, so what you basically are doing, you're doing two things here when you're writing a vision board. You are telling, you're writing on the vision board what you want. That should be very, very clear. Now, often people do this. They write down, but they are not very explicit. What you have to do is break it down into different component. Okay, I want a job. Identify where, write it down. So what kind of job do you want? What do you want? Write it down. Now, very important, very, very important is not to just write down if you do need a job in Google, if you do need a job there or here. Very important is to write down what kind of job do you need. That is so important. What kind of money do you want? So important. Write it down. Next to it, write down the feelings. Because the minute you see that vision board, you're not reminding only of what you want, but you're also kind of revising those feelings which go with that thought and will make your personal reality. So let's say if you achieve all of that, is it going to make you happy? Write it down. Is it going to make you satisfied? Write it down. Is it going to add thrill to your life, depending on what you want? Write it down. You write down the feelings. On the same page, just below that, because the first section will be what you want. On the feeling side, you have to also write down what is it going to get you. Are you going to feel accomplished? Are you going to feel promoted and satisfied? All these things are so important because people only focus on thoughts, and people only focus on objects or things that they want, and they write down, but they so much forget about and ignore about the importance of writing down the feelings. Because once you write down the feelings, you're reminding yourself again and again, and once you look at that feeling, it automatically triggers your neurons, and you're basically making a new set of neural connection. Now, in the same page itself, below, write down your insecurities, your fear, your self doubt, because you will have to go through that with your vision of manifestation. Because what you're basically doing on one piece of paper, reminding yourself to prune the old that is not serving you in terms of your emotional insecurities, your fears, or you could have anything what is not serving you or what is stopping you to manifest. And on the same piece of paper, you're sprouting new neural connection. You're programming your mind, making a mind movie. The best way to manifest is after you write down this on a piece of paper, sit down for 10 minutes in a day, silence your frontal lobe, close your eyes. Now, this is the mode of meditation. When you close your eyes, you're silencing your visual cortex, which means that no disturbance is actually coming to your brain. You're silencing your motor cortex. Your hands and feet are not moving. You are then focusing on that mind movie, on the vision board that you just planned. Now, what you do is make an actual visualization of that movie. So, if you are planning to get a new job, or you're starting your business, sit down and start programming in your mind from the start till the end. You start by taking the first step. You program in your mind each and every step. Once you do that, 3 days, the fourth day your body is going to tell you, let's take action. So you start taking action. The opportunities are going to open for you because you're actually programming your mind, telling your mind to bring out a new neural chemistry where your body is going to tell you, let's do what the mind is saying, what the mind is repeating every now and then, because the body follows the mind. And the reason I ask you to take care of your insecurities and self doubt is because when your insecurities and self-doubt builds up, of course you cannot manifest, but the second thing, which is very very important thing, is your body becomes your mind. Your body runs your mind, and your mind is no longer the master. You're breaking the habit of being yourself. You're telling your body, no, I'm going to tell you as mind what you need to do. And the neural connections that I have built in my mind is what you're going to follow. It starts with building your CV. So the first step is build your CV. Go to a specialist, do some research, find out. And your body will do that because you're building neural chemistry. You're basically doing an electrical discharge, and you're following up with the magnetic frequency in your body through feelings. And there is no way it will not happen because your body is programmed scientifically to do what your mind will say to do. So then you play a movie. You're starting off doing your CV, and then you're basically applying all the steps. Each and everything is what you are playing with your eyes closed, because your all cortexes are silenced, and you're building strong neural connections without any disturbance. You repeat that over and over again. And I don't want to overpromise, but I have seen this happening in the lives of so many people. They started, and within 7 days, 8 days, they started seeing results. Of course, they will start seeing results because their body is now going to go in action and complement what the mind is telling them to do. And at the same time, taking care of the insecurities. Taking care of the insecurities is so important. Your fears are so important to be kept in control. While you are on the path of manifestation, it's not going to be easy, and of course there will be a lot of failures. And I always tell people, be in the unknown. Even though you're playing a mind movie, that does not mean that it's going to exactly work the way you are planning, because the universe is going to unfold their reality in certain ways which will surprise you. Your goal remains the same, you will reach there, but the path to it is what you are programming in your mind, but may not be the same as it would lead you to the final goal. And I always tell people, be in the unknown to get rid of your fears, because when you're not expecting, you're not disappointed. You don't have fear of failure. And you feel that it is fine if I do fail today, but I know I'm going to get it. And the reason I was able to get whatever I wanted in my life through manifestation was this: whenever I failed, I smiled and I came back much more stronger and harder. And I said, well, if life hits me once, I'm going to hit it back twice, and I will show the world that I can do. And I think if you say that to yourself, that I'm going to do, you will finally do it.
That is amazing. And talking about going back to how you manifest the career, that's a great point. When you're talking about CV, which is a resume as well, while we're at this topic, if you're if you follow me on LinkedIn, you can register for my free resume writing course. It's available for limited time only. You just have to go to teachndo.com and registrations. It's on my profile as well, right there. When you click on the free job search and a career resources, you can just go in there and now start taking that classes. It gives you so much clarity, 7 C's of clarity. It also gives you the samples of the resume, how you write it as well. You'd be ready, and at least you would know the world of resume wherever you are. And then you can start now manifesting it with the right employer. But manifestation execution is not going to happen if you don't take an action, just the way she said it. If you want the good career, you got to find out that who are you got to be clear, you got to know what is a targeted industry, you got to know what is the salary you're targeting, and you become clear, your mind's going to think about it. And I'm telling you all from my own experience, I'm no licensed therapist or hypnotherapist, anyone like that, but I have applied those things in my career. I came in here as an immigrant in Canada, right? I went to the school here, and then I started doing all the survival jobs. I worked in the factory, I worked in the fast food industry. Then I climbed up the ladder. I got 9 promotions within 12 years. And it's no joke that I didn't execute it the right way. I did execute the right way. Could I have done better if I knew how do I write the manifestations in a chart that she's talking about? I would have probably moved up a ladder quite quickly. Then I quit my role and then I started this business. And like I said, I got approached by top media house, top partnership, top branding agencies, right? And I didn't even imagine I would be here today, honestly, if I did not put my mindset around and started playing the movies. I really liked how you said, Gulneet, about playing the movies. All my life, actually, I was playing the movies, but now I would know how do I play the right way. Now, question for you, is there a right way and wrong way to manifest? How about we go with the checklist and we can open the floor for questions?
Right. Okay. So when I say you play a mind movie, a lot of people, where there are a lot of survival emotions. Now, I would say survival emotions hurt. The reason why people are not able to manifest love is a classic example, because of the hurt. So hurt is the first thing. Fear is the second thing that you need to get rid of. A lot of people come to me and they say, I don't know why I'm not able to find love, and they blame it on Dubai. Dubai is a place you can never find love, and I say no, that's not correct. It's about you. In life, we have contracts of emotional handshake with people. We are drawing ourselves to familiar things. If you think that fear and hurt is familiar to you, you will never be able to manifest love in your life, because you're stopping yourself to attract the right person in your life, and you keep getting attracted to people who are not right for you. And then you keep getting hurt. You keep saying to yourself, oh my God, I'm not able to find love. To change that, you have to get rid of your survival emotions. So, how about you do that? Start changing the neural chemistry, start changing the picture of the person that you want in life. Well, everybody has got negotiable and non-negotiable parameters. In if you're attracting a partner or you're looking for a job, there's negotiable, there's non-negotiable. That is okay. But what I'm saying is, if something is not serving you, then you have to change things in your life, because then you have to change first before you attract anything else in your life, because there's something clearly not working out for you. So, to get rid of your survival emotions, if they are very deep, very, very deep, then you can do the manifestation in two stages. So, the first time when you sit down, um, so that could be broken down into two stages. First is getting rid of your survival emotions, which could be done by, again, meditation, sitting down for 5 minutes. Now, recall 3 instances in the past where you got hurt, where you formed a belief that love is not available, or I'm not really, I don't deserve it. And the feeling of hurt, the feeling of fear, you again playing a mind movie of your past. But the minute you bring out that feeling, you say to yourself, change. That feeling does not serve me anymore. Once you keep playing that recording, that mind movie, and remind yourself, you're becoming conscious of your subconscious thoughts. And that's where we want to get. Because once, if you want to break your pattern, your belief, your propensities, and become a new person, because even to manifest, you will have to become somebody new. With the current state of being, you will not be able to manifest if you do have survival emotions. Play that mind movie of your past. When you bring up those instances, bring up those feelings, and say, change, change, remind yourself. Because the next time you get in touch with exactly the same person, who is familiar with whoever you have dated and gotten hurt, you're actually reminding yourself that no, this is not the right person. I'll give you another example. So, a friend of mine said, well, I don't know, but I keep getting attracted to wrong men. Now, this is again manifestation. Why she's not able to manifest a partner, a good, decent partner in her life. Now, my first question to her: go back in your childhood and understand, wh- what are you getting drifted to? Is this person that you are getting attracted to and getting hurt again and again resembles your father, your mother? And there's always a similarity. There is always something very familiar. So our body and subconscious is programmed to recreate the past, to put a happy ending to whatever we have seen as kids in our life. And that does not work out for you. So clearly it's in your subconscious as a program, because when you see the person, you say, oh, you know, I have instant bonding, I have instant connection. There is no instant bonding, there's no instant connection, there's energy that is matching, because that person just looks familiar and reminds you somebody from your past, be it your dad, be it your mom. And as a child, we always wanted to control things, but it's always out of our control because we are dependent and we cannot control things around. But we always want to put a happy ending to it. And the struggle in subconscious, the pattern that we live by is, I want to put a happy ending. I'm going to recreate that scenario in my life and I'm going to put a happy ending. That doesn't happen, unfortunately. So, what you need to do is recreate the image in your mind, break the habit of being yourself, recreate everything, change everything, and you'll be able to attract potential partner in your life. And same goes in your career. Let's say you're applying for many jobs and nothing is clicking. You're going for an interview and nothing is clicking. There's something to do with what is happening in your current state of being. Why are you not able to attract? If you are programmed to be in a toxic culture, no matter wherever you go, you will still recreate that reality because that satisfies your chemical state of being, which is called homeostasis in scientific language. So, for you to thrive or even go and find a new job, it is so important first to change your state of being. That's why I say, if the emotions are very embedded, if they're really troubling you, and no matter what you do, you're not able to, is to sit down and change. Remind yourself through Mind Movie, change is becoming aware of your subconscious thoughts in your conscious state of mind. So once you become aware for a week, you're reminding yourself of the instance from the past, and you're telling yourself
I'm losing you. Gulneet, I can't hear you. You're on mute now. All of a sudden, I'm not sure what happened. You're on mute. Do you want to leave and come back? Okay. All right, so that's Gulneet. We're going to come back, and she's going to join us, and she's going to take your question as well. Now, for those of you who do not know, I am streaming this live on my YouTube channel as well. You can go and watch the replay. It's on Teachndo. It's on my profile as well. It's on this link. How you joined in, you can go to the post and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Gulneet is back. Welcome back. So she's going to take a question in a minute. So you're good, Gulneet?
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I got kicked out.
That's okay. So, and what's going to happen is I'm going to be replaying this on my YouTube channel. I do this live and invite amazing guests from all around the corner who adds value. And I do this every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you'd like to hear people from the world that matters to you, to your career, to whatever you're thinking of, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can go and watch the replay. Even if you're not there on a live show, ask questions. You can send us the question as well in advance so I can pick that up and then feature your questions too. Now, having said that, Gulneet's going to take questions from the floor. Let me see here. Let's stay with the topic. How do you manifest? Let's relate that to her topic. That's why she's here. She charges for this, guys, and she's doing this for me for free because we have that partnership, collaborations together. We want to give back to the community, and that's why she's here for you today. Stick to what she can answer today, all right? And she came from the HR as well, HR background, so she can answer questions about the career as well for you. Let me invite people. All right, open to the floor. Introduce yourself and what question do you have for us? I can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. Before you come in, please make sure your LinkedIn app is updated. Give permission to the mic as well. Now, Gulneet, do you know that there are like 2,000 drop-ins? More than 2,000, 2,100 drop-ins. I'm showing it. And people are coming and going, and obviously people are staying, and obviously people are going to go watch replay as well. This has been awesome. Last time she was in, there was like more than 1,000 people as well listening to us as well. So this is great. So in the interest of time, I'm going to move you back to the listening. I'm going to open the floor because she has to go as well. Kelly, you're next. What's your question? Let's move on one question at a time because there are a lot of people who want to talk to her. Kelly, go with your question, please. Unmute yourself. It's on the bottom right. I don't know if it's a glitch. I'm going to keep on moving. Gina, unmute yourself and ask question. You have to give permission to the mic. And if you're not able to, then that means you have to leave and probably join from the computer. Unmute yourself, give permission. Aparjita, you're next. Unmute yourself at the bottom. I'm going to keep on bringing and just make sure you come back. Santosh, what's your question? You have to unmute yourself and update the LinkedIn app as well. So I don't know if it's a glitch going on. Gulnit, can you hear me? Yes, you're fine, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to unmute yourself, give permission to the mic, and a lot of people, you wouldn't see it. I'm going to keep on bringing people, whoever can talk. All right. Everyone is on mute. I see everyone on mute. Unmute yourself at the bottom. There's a mute button. And maybe it's my glitch. Audio Live has been glitchy. I was a beta tester from day one. So probably it's... All right, I'm going to move you all back to the listening. And you know what? If you really want to have your question answered, go on to the event page and ask us question there, and I can pick it from there as well. Okay, just do that as well. Maybe it's a glitch because it's not only one person. Like everyone is probably having issues. Maybe it's an audio live glitch. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to keep on bringing people. And then if you do want to ask question, go onto the tab and ask us question. Raman, you're next. Yeah, I can see. Okay, you're unmuted, Raman. Can you speak? Then it went back on the mute again. I don't know, guys. I'm so sorry. Maybe there's like something going on with the LinkedIn audio live. Whew. This is crazy. Okay, you're next, Samula. This is crazy. I'm bringing everyone on the stage just to, I feel like this is the glitch. There's no way everyone is unmuted. Akash, I can see you unmuted. Go on.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Hello.
Perfect. What's your question, Akash? Now you're unmuted. I think there's a glitch. Seriously?
Yeah.
Akash?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello. I think it's technical issue.
It is? Okay. What happened?
I don't know, but my LinkedIn app automatically unmuted it.
I'm going to bring this up to the LinkedIn audio team as well to give them what's going on, because I have a screen share as well. They can check it too. Can you talk now? Can you unmute yourself? Or is it automatically muting you?
Yes. Yeah.
Akash, go ahead and ask.
I don't know what issue. Hello.
You can go ahead and ask question if you have any question, Akash.
Hello.
Akash, what is your question?
Hello.
We can hear you. Can you not hear us?
Hello. Who is man host?
Okay, you know what? I'm going to keep on bringing people. So it looks like a glitch, but again, this is good because you know what? I can forward this to LinkedIn team. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us. You're on mute as well, so probably it's a LinkedIn glitch. I am so sorry, guys. This is like ridiculous. I'm so sorry. I can't.
Yeah, we have so many people interested to ask questions, and yeah.
Sagar? Okay,
Hello.
we can hear you. Go ahead with your question, please.
Yeah. Gulnit, I wanted to ask you about my sister. She is getting very emotional whenever she used to remember her past, and in her married life, she is not quite happy right now due to some respect issue, right? Like she is not getting some self-respect from her partner and her in-laws. So how should I advise her to get rid of the emotional issues, and how to get rid of her fears, like everyone is hurting her, and how to keep herself happy.
I always say this to people. Whenever your external environment becomes stronger or bigger than your internal chemistry is when it affects you. Now, if you look at the neurological aspect of it. Every time there is a stress, 1,400 biochemicals are rushed through your veins, and it affects all your organs, including your heart and brain. Now, the first question, sometimes we get too emotional, over emotional. And of course, now the body is in that state where we want happiness. So I think from whatever you have explained to me, what I gather is she is looking to be happy. So she would like to manifest happiness. But at the same time, if she keeps on sucking in the internal state of being, she will not be able to manifest happiness. So, first of all, the question is, where is the change starting from? The change starts from us. We cannot control the environment. What we can control is our internal state of being. And the work starts with working on our inner self, because there'll be a lot of people. There are a lot of people around us in a joint family, in a nuclear family, at work, always there to trigger our buttons. Emotional, anything to do with emotions, anything to do with depression, anything to do with anxiety is an emotional addiction, including anger. The more you become addicted, the more you sinking yourself in that situation. So the first point basically is to make peace with yourself, that yes, I'm going to develop that strength in my mind, that the external environment is not going to shake me up internally, and I'm going to make sure that there's nobody but me who's going to decide where I am going in life. So once she starts ignoring so many things around us, slowly and gradually the happiness will start coming in, because happiness is internal state, not external. So that's what I can suggest you.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to move you so I can, Ram, you're next. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Sweta. I just happened to hit upon this live feed. So I'd like to introduce myself as a computer professional. But my main liking has always been drawing. I am an amateur artist. I'm good at it, I know. But most of the things that anyone wants to accomplish, there must be consistency no matter what you do that. The biggest challenge that I've had is being consistent in what I do, especially my artwork, which I hopefully in this lifetime I will, be where I am. So, any tips, traits on how to manifest that, Gulneet?
Consistency is very, very important. If you're not consistent, that's why I said manifest in 30 days, because you have to uh, okay, so let me tell you, psychologically, uh, 21 days it takes for you to manifest a new habit, to develop a new habit, not manifest, to develop a new habit. And now the new science is saying it may take up to 4 weeks if emotions are really embedded into your system and neural circuitry. Consistency is the only thing that is going to lead you to your goal. So if you want to do something, not just and consistency is not something that you're ticking the box. You're not saying, okay, so fine, so today I'm going to produce this beautiful piece of art because I said to myself that I'm going to do it. That's not it. You have to show your passion in it. You have to do that with same passion and with a goal, because no matter how many pieces of art you produce, if your passion, which is again your feeling, is not aligned with your thought and action, you will never be able to manifest anything in life. So there are three things which are so important. First is your thought, then is your feeling. Whatever action you take has to combine your thought and feeling, and then you are on right track. And consistency is so important. 21 days you have to program yourself in following exactly what you want to achieve. You have to go on that path consistently, and you should be able to see results quickly.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm going to move you.
Thank you, Gulneet.
Sahar?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead
Oh
with your
yes.
question, please.
Yes, I heard you before. Can you just excuse my English because I'm not perfect?
No,
No
that's
problem.
fine. Please do not
Okay.
apologize, because the fact that you can speak two
Yeah,
languages, you should be proud about yourself.
yeah,
I'm the same way. So
yeah.
go ahead, because you had a guts to come up and
Thank
ask
you.
questions. So kudos to you. People, give her emoji, heart
Mhm.
emojis. Let's motivate her. That's amazing. Someone
Thank you so
is
much.
apologizing. You don't have to. I'm so proud of you. Go ahead with your
Yes.
question.
Thank you. You are so sweet. Actually, I heard you, Sweta. You said that if you are born or stick in a toxic environment or toxic family, it's so hard to get rid of. Actually, this is my case now. I cannot change my family. I cannot change my mother and my father, my relatives. So at the same time, I'm trying to control my emotion. I'm trying to attract better things for me. But each time I feel I feel that I cannot reach my goal because of of what they bring for me, my family. I don't know if you got my point or not.
Yes, Gulneet, I think I got it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah. I got your point. So, as I
Mhm,
said, subconscious is programmed to live the past always. Now, even though you leave this toxic environment and you manage to go somewhere, if your mind and subconscious is programmed to bring you back in that homostatus, you will find toxicity anywhere. Focus on your growth, focus on yourself, focus on becoming much more stronger. Now, stronger does not mean that you take abuse. No. What I'm trying to say is be indifferent. Be indifferent to small things that matter. So chalk out a list and understand what is bothering you right now, which is
mhm,
small. I'm talking about the intensity of toxicity. So
mhm,
uh, identify what can be ignored, what is the medium range, and what is an abuse. So abuse, definitely you should never take from anybody, and you should stand up for yourself. But the more you become indifferent, the more you become ignorant, the more you are changing environment around you. Because if somebody finds pleasure in pushing your buttons, you are actually giving them food. You're making them happy, isn't it? So once you stop reacting to things around you, just because you want to have peace with yourself, they will stop doing that to you, because you're not giving them food, you're not giving them pleasure, they are not getting any excitement by seeing you sad. And I always say that to people, if you want to, a person can definitely, I'm not saying it should be the case and you should manage yourself in a toxic environment, but what I'm saying is, as I understand, you don't have a way out. When you don't have a way out, you cannot fall sick, because the minute you start stressing yourself and the minute the stress response triggers your amygdala, which is the hindbrain in your system, your organs are going to start weeping and your organs are going to start getting affected because of the higher stress response. And so that's the decision you need to take. Are you going to change yourself and become indifferent to the environment that you're in because it's not in your control? Or you're going around the circles in that loop thinking, yes, this is my state of being, I don't have way out? Focus on your growth. If you do have a passion, focus on that. Maybe you'll be able to build something for future, and that could possibly give you a way out, better financial status, better stability in life. There are many things. The only reason why you are not able to possibly manifest your better reality is because you're focusing too much on current state of being, which is too emotional and which is driving you down every single day.
Perfect. Thank
I
you,
think
Gulneet.
she went.
I'm going to take questions. So Nakshatra, hang in there. I'm going to take questions from the event page, and anyone who couldn't come up on the stage, please go ahead and ask those questions on our event page. When you click on right there on top, you can go and ask questions there, or my YouTube channel as well, because it's streaming live in YouTube as well, or on LinkedIn Live as well. All right. So Tarun B. Tezwani is asking, with regards to writing on your vision board, shall I write my short-term goal of my long-term vision, like owning my own manufacturing unit?
I always tell people, whatever is reachable, do that first. Whatever looks possible and easy, do that first, because that will eventually lead to long term goals.
That is amazing. Perfect. Short and sweet. Nakshatra, what do you have? What do you want to add? Did I pronounce that right?
Hi, Shweta. Yes, you did. Thank you for organizing this. Hi, Gulneet. Thank you for the
Hello.
amazing talk.
My pleasure.
Um, So my question is, you talked about the emotional scale, and often it's related to the childhood experiences or trauma. So my question is, if someone cannot go back into their childhood memory because sometimes it's not accessible, what should they do? Is there a back door to then improving the feelings and move towards one step closer towards manifestation, or is that gonna hinder? Does that continue to hinder the process?
There are two ways to go about it. First is hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy is a very, very powerful technique to go into your childhood. It's a very, very strong modality that helps you regress into your childhood to find out when, why, where, and what happened that you have the state of being today, and what is triggering your subconscious. And today, why are you the way you are, right? The second, if you don't want to um, uh, take hypnotherapy as a modality and find out what happened in your childhood, what you can possibly do is identify the pattern in your life which is not serving you. So as I said, people come to me, I can't find love, I don't know, but I cannot get out of this emotional state of being. I I think I get angry and I become abusive. There's a pattern. What is driving that pattern? Look back into your childhood. Now, this is even without hypnotherapy, because hypnotherapy, what it helps you is to bring out stuff from your subconscious. And it's a very profound technique, I must say, because I use that with my clients. And the amount of garbage that comes out of the subconscious is mind blowing. But, anyways, once you go back and understand the pattern, you go back again and see what is it reminding you of, especially your parents, because that is so important. Because what I always say to my clients, we learn what we live. See what you lived, because you have learned what you live, and in your subconscious that's embedded so deep that it's now making patterns in your life, and you're going through that vicious cycle again and again. For you to break that pattern, it's so important for you to understand the why behind that pattern. So understand what happened in your past. How did you grow up? How was the relationship between your parents? How did they treat you? Did you feel different? Did you feel loved? Did you feel enough? There are so many things you can find out just replaying your childhood in your mind, if not through hypnotherapy. Write it down on a piece of paper, what you went through. Especially, did you feel different as a child? Did you feel enough? Did you feel valued? Did your parents take care of you? Did you matter to them? These are so important things. And through this, you'll be able to understand, okay, so if you did not feel enough, what is the behavior that you adopted in your childhood? How did it become your personality? Now, what pattern are you running through that personality? I hope
That's
that helps.
amazing. Thank you. Shervan, do you wanna give it a try? Because I know you're here for a second time. If not, then I'm gonna pick questions from the networking, the event page. So I don't think you can still talk. So Shervan's asking on our event page. Okay, can you talk now?
Yes, I can. Thank
Did
you.
did I pronounce that name right? Please introduce yourself.
Yes, Siobhan Johnson from the Bahamas, a consultant.
Oh, wow.
Going
Interesting.
transition, actually. I had a lot of interesting background. Sometimes you can have too much skills. And so when you're going through transition and when you talk about manifesting, I think my challenge is, I'm presumed good at a lot of different things. How do you focus on manifesting on what you're really, really made to do in the next phase of your life? Like, what is that process like? Because there's things you're good at and there's things you're passionate about. But how do you kind of unlock the next phase? I think a lot of people post-COVID are going through transition of what we've done to what is really meaningful. But obviously, you still have to work, you still have to make money, like finding that balance and manifesting everything. Thank you.
Right. So here I would say you will always manifest where your passion takes you, because it's all about feelings. And when your feelings are stronger, your electromagnetic frequency is stronger. Now, what you need to find out, you get good at a lot of things, and if you do not know what is your next step, first of all, you find your purpose. What is your purpose? If your purpose is more into giving back to the society, then do that. Because a lot of times people come to me and they say they have midlife crisis. And I say to them, no, sorry, this is not midlife crisis. The body is programmed in a way that if until 35, 40, you've been doing certain things in a very robotic way, with no change, no new people, no new learning, no new information coming to your mind, now your body and the cells are desensitized. Now they're looking for a change. So your body is going to tell you, your mind is going to tell you that I'm sorry, but we need something new in the life. So if you're going through that, then definitely that could be one of the reasons. The other reason could be, well, you need to find your purpose. So ask yourself, what is your purpose? And I always also tell people, go back into your childhood and understand what you always wanted to do between the ages of 8 and 12, because that's where you can find your purpose. Maybe you can find your passion with your purpose. And if that feels very strongly in your gut, go and do it.
That's amazing. Thank you. So I'm going to pick one question from YouTube. Neeraj Tiwari is asking, if I'm going to speak on big event, how can I manifest my better performance there?
You have to get rid of the fear of being judged. So how can you stand on the stage and be completely indifferent to whoever is present and what they are thinking about you at that moment? The biggest obstacle why we are not able to speak in front of the crowd is because we've got that fear of being judged. What are people going to think about me? That's why you forget the script and your body language changes. You get sweaty hands and feet. You start trembling, and a lot of things happen, and anxiety sets in. And that all comes from the fear of being judged. So if you're able to tackle that, you can definitely manifest. Stand in front of the mirror, do some videos, talk to yourself, do some scripts, do videos, send it to your friends, ask them their feedback. And of course, they should be genuine friends. They should be able to tell you the constructive feedback and the critical feedback, and do it more and more. Then collect a group of people, speak in front of them, go larger in audience, and that's how you build your trust, right? You build your confidence, and then that's how you break that neural circuitry where you always thought, oh, what am I going to do if they're going to judge me? And the fear is gone, and you're right on the stage and speaking in front of thousands of people in no time.
That's great. Now, for those people who are listening right now or watching on YouTube and the live video as well, we would really appreciate what were the 3 takeaways from today's sessions. Go ahead and post it. Take a screenshot of it, especially when you're on stage, or if you have any questions. Please go ahead and share it on your LinkedIn profile later on and tag both of us so people can hear more about this technique. And we need to raise an awareness about manifestation technique, and tag us so that way we can jump in as well, and then people can just appreciate the fact that these are available for free. She's shared so much knowledge today for free that people charge for it, right? Please share it. I just want you to write 3 takeaways from today's sessions, tag us, post it, and then share the screenshot as well. Who was next? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing right. Whoever is next, can you go ahead and ask question?
Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was wondering, so how you were talking about getting out of survival thoughts. How do you do that? What would be some tips for as far as money goes? Like, I feel from my parents in my childhood, worrying about money is very deeply ingrained in me. So what would be some tips to get out of that? Thank you.
It always comes from the childhood. And I, like, every time I get a client wanting to manifest, or I take a client for hypnotherapy, so much evident, everything comes from our childhood. But anyways, okay, so not having enough in the childhood, money, that stays like for the rest of your life. So there are 2 important things, actually 3. Money, food, and love are very, very prominent on my list. So if there is a lack of any of these, it will remain with you throughout your life unless you try to change something. So the best thing basically to do is, as I'm teaching you the technique of meditation, of sprouting new connections or building a new neural circuitry by playing a mind movie of your future, you can do exactly the same thing with your past. Sit down with your eyes closed. Recall the moments which were not so pleasant, and the moments that the events that actually made you feel that money is so important, or oh my god, if money is gone, then I'm going to go back to how I used to live in the childhood without money, with so many difficulties. So bring up those events, and the minute that feeling comes up, say change. That's a very solid interruption. Say change. Like this, you bring 3 events from your childhood which are very prominent and that made you feel that if you don't have money, your life is going to be miserable. Interrupt those, say change, change, change. So what you're actually doing is you're programming your mind in in you're programming your mind, tuning it so well that every time now during the day, if you get a thought which is triggering from your subconscious, from your childhood, your mind actually distracts you because you already installed interruptions by saying change, change, change. And that is a very, very powerful technique. And I teach this technique to people. Well, I give them scripts on what to do and how to do. And I will see if I can possibly give that script to Shweta. She can post it on, I don't know if she can do it on this page. We'll try to work out something for you guys. But that is so important. So it's an interruption that you speak while recalling the moments from your past or from your childhood, bringing up those feelings. As soon as the feeling comes up, you say change. So you're installing interruptions, and those interruptions will stay with you throughout the day. After you've done that, let's say for 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, you'll start feeling better, of course, obviously. And you'll come to a point that no scenes come up then. If you get less and less of those scenes and you're not getting the same strong feeling as you used to get, it means you worked on your neural chemistry. You worked on it quite well, and now is the time to play your future mind movie. Then you start playing another mind movie of your future, of what you want, and that's how you build it up from there.
Perfect. Great. Now, who is next? Mazdi, can you please introduce yourself and ask one question? There are a lot of questions on
Hi,
networking
everybody.
page. Sorry, guys. There are a lot of questions on
Thank-
event page, and people are sending me DM as well for questions. So I would definitely want to cover all those questions. Let's focus on one question at the time. Stay brief,
Yeah.
please. Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, this is Majdi. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you, Gurneet. Lots of subjects, it seems to me, related to the manifestation. I'll start from Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. I went through that book, and now in English, it means an in Arabic, which is the mantra of the crown chakra. So this is one point. The other point is regarding Joe Dispenza. He's as a manifestation, Dr. Joe Dispenza is concentrating too much on the power of now, to be present. So meaning that in way or other, that the past is in way or other, it's illusion. And as a mechanical engineer, I went through some of the quantum physics. So in the quantum physics, yes, the only thing is really exist is what is it now. The past is a memory in our mind. Now this memory is not only to the childhood, it is for related to all the past lives. Now I came to the difference between Freud and Carl Gustav Jung. Carl Gustav Jung, the student of Freud, he went more deep, and he went to India and to East, and he came back with reincarnation belief, and he put that in a really way that we can accept it in point of science.
Right.
Also, Eckhart Tolle, Joe Dispenza, also Billy Carson. Billy Carson is searching in the in the old civilization, mainly the Hermetic. So how much we forgot, it seems we forgot our past. So, and the power of the Hermetic time, like how they build the pyramids, it is not by the way that we think, by lifting stones, cutting. No, it's not that way. It's by manifestation. What is this, in regarding this subject of how to manifest, how to collect? What is the
Okay, in the interest of time, do you want to answer that question quickly and we can move on to a lot of other questions?
So so he spoke about Dr. Joe Dispenza. Dr. Joe Dispenza is my guru. He's my mentor, and I'm going to see him in US in April. Very, very profound teacher, very well-known researcher, scientist, and he's got abundance of knowledge. If you do want to learn about manifestation, definitely, hands down, you can study his research, and his quantum meditation is very, very powerful. So yeah, that's about Dr. Joe Dispenza. The power of pineal gland and pituitary gland also is there, very, very powerful when you are manifesting something. But because it's an audio live, we cannot demonstrate how you pull the energy from your base chakra to your crown, and it has to be demonstrated physically. So yeah, I would love to do that, but because of that limitation of not having video, can't do that. But yes, hands down, Dr. Joe is a very, very, very powerful teacher who teaches you the law of manifestation. So if you can read some of his books, especially being the supernatural, you will gain from that a lot.
That's amazing. So I love how, like, you guys talked about chakra, because I know when I was practicing medicine, like, I was focusing on 7 chakras from Muladhara to, like, the Sahasrara, all the way up to the crown, and everything comes back to those chakras in there. And I'm loving it, like scientific meditations, and these are proven technique. I wish we had more time, and then we can talk about maybe next session. There are so many questions. I definitely want to give away, focus on that. Arjun, what's your question? Go ahead.
Hey, hi, Gulneet, hi, Sweta. Thanks so much for giving me up. Can you hear me right?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, hi to both of you. Thanks so much for giving me opportunity to ask question. My question to Gulneet is that I just want to know how to actually, exponentially increase my potential in my life, personally and professionally. Currently, I see myself working in technology, and which I was always passionate about. I'm doing it. But parallelly, I wanted to develop the passion in which I can work, and I found the passion in fitness. But there are a number of things that I love to do, but I don't have time. So one thing at a time, I'm taking it up, and I'm doing, and I'm glad that I'm consistent on it. So now I have achieved one milestone in fitness, so I feel so good about that. But there is somewhere I got stopped and distracted towards some other activity like dance I want to do at join classes. Then I feel like I'm stopping my first passion which I have, took it another level. So there are so many things that like I get attracted to, but I could not help myself, and I just stop on one thought and could not move ahead. But how could I be, uh, you know uh, so this is a mix of emotions that I want to do number of things, but I could not, and I have to juggle with that thought, and I have to take one thing at a time. I know that I can do, but that's something that
Okay, go on, Gulneet.
Okay.
I moved him.
So the time you mess up with that equation of disturbing your thoughts and feelings is the time you go away from your goal. And that's a simple mantra, to be very honest. And as he said that, okay, so I wanted to do fitness and I've reached the first milestone, and then I got distracted. Getting distracted is losing passion and also focus, which is your thought. So clearly you will not be sticking to that particular goal, and you're not going to go up the ladder. clearly because you have disturbed that equation of thought and feeling, so your actions are no longer complementing. So consistency in your thoughts and your feelings in action in particular direction is so important.
All right, perfect. So who is on the stage? Before I do that, I'm going to pick question from the event page. HK Kanaka is asking, how do I keep my focus? If I start doing something, I will lose focus of it, even though I love doing it.
You often lose focus. So there are a lot of people who lose focus because they go into high beta brainwave activity, which is like if there is a stress response, you lose focus because then basically it's the power of your frontal lobe that makes you focus and helps you to become creative, and you can solve a problem. When that gets disturbed, as in when you have a stress response and you go into a high beta mode, then the job of the frontal lobe is not to focus, it's to basically handle your internal stress through parasympathetic nervous system. Meditation is a very powerful tool. A lot of people do not understand the power and importance of meditation in their life. It is a game changer. If you want to build focus, I would definitely recommend 10 minutes of meditation into your morning or evening routine. Between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m., if you are an early morning person, you've got byproducts of melatonin in your brain. So if you are meditating during this time between 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., the byproducts of melatonin are going to open the doors of subconscious. Your subconscious is still open. If you meditate at that time, it's going to be extremely powerful. So that's one tip. If you want to really change things in your brain, in the way it focuses, it pays attention, increasing creativity, problem solving, then you can do that.
Perfect. Prasad?
Scientifically proved.
Perfect. Prasad, what's your question? I think there's a problem, Prasad, so I'm going to move you down. So I'm going to take question from the event page as well. I'm going to invite some people on the stage as well. Abiral is asking, how do we distinguish between what we want and what we don't want subconsciously? Consciously, we are already there, but how to rewire subconsciously?
You have to understand that the body is programmed in a way to follow the subconscious. If your body has become the mind, because body loves programming. Now, if you understand, if you notice yourself, you wake up each morning from the same side of the bed, you get into your slippers, you walk to the washroom, and then you walk to the coffee machine. Even the movements, the time that you take in brushing your teeth is so programmed. Everything is programmed. So your body loves programming. Now understand what is coming from your subconscious, which is a programmed set of behaviors and propensities and thoughts and actions, and that has become pattern. If that is not serving you, become conscious of the subconscious pattern. That's the first step to change. Once you become conscious of the subconscious pattern, which is not serving you, which is creating obstacles, why do you have anger? Why do you have addiction to anger? Is it something that reminds you from your past, from your childhood? Did you see your dad doing that? Did you see your mom doing that? Did you see something else in the family that gave you this impression that anger is the only way to vent out? Anger is the only way to get your things done? Understand what is running in your subconscious. Become aware, become conscious of the subconscious, what is not serving you. Then start changing.
Okay, Masuma is asking, can you ask if she can tell us more example of changing survival thoughts?
So what I said a few minutes back, in a meditative mode, recalling the events from the past with the feelings and installing interruptions like change. It takes only 10 minutes, but it stays with you throughout the day. Every time your neural circuitry brings up those thoughts, those feelings, stopping you from going further, it's going to automatically distract you and remind you of the interruption of change. That's very powerful.
Perfect. So Imran, you're next. Unmute yourself, and if you can, I'm going to move you to listening. I'm going to move fast. It doesn't look like there's a problem. I'm sorry, guys. We're supposed to do this half an hour, but because of the fact that a lot of people are coming in, so I don't want to leave you hanging. I appreciate your timing. Go ahead, ask question as soon as you come up on the stage. Sumit, go ahead. What's your question? All right. Audio glitch, or you have to give permission to the mic, just so you know. I'm going to wrap it up soon. Ravindra. All right, so the glitch is happening again. So you have to give permission to the mic. Nageshwar, go ahead. Unmute yourself. And people, if you can't speak here for whatever reason is happening, I can take question from the event page. If you go right now and ask me questions, I'm going to wrap this up. Fawaz, unmute yourself. Probably it's a mic as well. Fawaz, go ahead. What's your question?
Hi guys.
Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead with the question, please.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel my question looks like arguing questions. How to concentrate in one goal. You see, I graduated from ICT college and I love information technology very much. But 1 year and a half ago, I used to work as a salesperson for ICT solutions. Now I discovered myself in sales. I am unnatural in sales, very powerful in sales, but I always feel like I miss information technology. I miss using keyboards. So sometimes I have a job in other companies, in the sales department, in managerial job like this, but I feel hesitated to go with one. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to concentrate in one goal. This is my problem since I have both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Gulneet, go ahead.
You will always stay where you have your passion, and you will always thrive there because it is about feelings. Scientifically, okay, let me tell you this, why I'm talking about feelings again and again. Your heart sends more signals to the brain through vagus nerve and other pathways than your brain sends to the body. Heart is more powerful than the brain because all the feelings generating from the heart result in a very, very strong thought process. And some of the feelings, now this is science, some of the feelings do not even reach the mind, which means it does not actually result in corresponding thoughts, and they stay as very, very strong feeling in the heart, and a person still goes through those emotions and those feelings. The success behind anything, what anybody does, if the passion is there, it will be multiplied by 10 times. So if now that's the decision you need to take, whether you're looking at money, and if you're already thriving in that area where you already have your passion, I would recommend stay there. If you still miss something from tech, you can possibly take that as a part-time or a gig just to satisfy your hunger and your desire. But my recommendation always would be stay where your passion is.
Perfect. Osama, what's your question?
Yeah, I would like to thank you for having me. My name is Osama. I'm a mechanical engineer. I just want to ask you a specific question that how can we use manifestation techniques to overcome limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that may be holding us back from achieving our goals? Thank you.
So as I said, if you want to manifest something that is sprouting new connections and building a new movie in your mind, now that is like what you want, but what you don't want is already something that you know you don't want. How about playing that movie and telling yourself, I don't want to be like this person? So imagine what you don't want to be. That's another way of doing it, another way of pruning things, because nerve cells that do not fire together do not wire together. If you don't fire your old self for 21 days, you will start becoming a new self. So like if I am angry and I'm always angry, and then I stop becoming angry, if 21 days I continue doing that, as in do not respond to any situation with anger, I'm becoming a new person, right? So it's exactly the same way. You have to start picking on things that you do not want in your life, in your behavior. Start step by step, one by one. So if it is to do with negative belief, no matter whatever happens in your daily life, you're not going to think negative. There are a couple of distractions that you can adopt to. You can listen to music, you can watch TV, you can go out with your friend, connect with nature. Nature is very therapeutic, so nature will definitely give you a lot of positivity. Stop sitting inside and blaming the past, blaming the present. Get out of your house, start mingling with people, build social connections. I always tell people social prescribing is the best medication that anybody can ever have. Go build connection, talk about your feelings, talk about what you feel with people, family, friends, people who understand you, your close network, your trusted friends, and that is going to help you a lot. So with social prescribing, start start listing the things that you do not want to be in your life, in your personality. If there are certain behaviors, anger, negative thinking, or procrastination, anything that you do not want in your life, start small. Stop getting into that behavior slowly and gradually, and guess what, in 21 days you will possibly become a new version of yourself.
Perfect. Thank you. So before I let Imran come on the stage, Sunita is asking on our event page. I recently moved to Canada. Thing changed totally from settled, stable job to confused state where no job, which is affecting my mood, concentration, and that's affecting my goals. What should I do to get self-motivated again? How would I work on the manifestation here?
So is it just because you moved in here and you're finding yourself pretty unstable, or it is something that you change every time and you get into that belief? First, understand if there is a pattern behind that. But if it is about a new place, new location, everybody goes through that because your homostatus is challenged. You're no longer comfortable in your own comfort zone. You have a lot of things to do, you have a lot of challenges, you need to take care of a lot of things. Maybe you need to get money to feed your family. So it's a temporary thing. What I say, do a vision board. What I just explained, write down what you want, list down the feelings that you will get after you achieve this, get rid of your survival emotions, and that's where your journey will start moving.
Perfect.
You'll
Imran?
start moving, sorry, on your journey.
Great. Thank you. Imran, what's your question? And if you're not able to, then I think I got your DM, so I'm going to ask her.
Hello, are you hearing?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you hearing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, how are you? Please, thank you so much for giving me a chance to ask a question from you. It's a great platform. I'm very much a learning session from all of over here. I want to
Thank
ask
you.
one question. How to set and balance of brain with a heavy official workload and maintaining your physical lifestyle. And we are working as a commercial sales to managing different roles and having an additional task in my organization. We are working with the two position in the same way. I want to manage my brain with the two focal mindset, and to manage my life with the brain relaxation. Give you have any suggestion so that I can implement to get the focus of both the positions?
There are different techniques to power your brain, to move energy up your brain. You can check out this technique on YouTube by Dr. Joe Dispenza called activation of pineal gland. That is going to really help you. And that also includes a bit of manifestation. It's a very, very powerful technique. The video actually is called Tuning into New Potentials. So you can write it down. So tuning into new potentials is the YouTube video by Dr. Joe. It teaches you the power to activate your pineal gland. So once you activate your pineal gland, your brain is set into an alpha brain wave activity. When you go into an alpha brain wave activity, you have silenced your brain, and your brain goes into partially subconscious state. And at that time, it's the right time to adopt suggestibility techniques during alpha brain wave activity. You can manifest, you can prune anything that you want, which is not serving you, which is stopping you. You can definitely strengthen the power of brain by doing this. There are a lot of stuff available on YouTube, especially by Dr. Joe, because of course I believe in what he does and he's my guru. So you will definitely find a lot of stuff on YouTube. And activation of pineal gland is activating of the energy center in pineal gland, which is very, very powerful. And it increases focus, it increases attention, it increases creativity, problem solving, and everything that you need to perform and be productive in your personal and professional life. It will help you with that.
Perfect. Thank you, Gulneet. So last thing, before we go, one technique that you apply in your life, daily life, so everyone could walk away with that as well for manifestation, and we can wrap it up.
Well, I studied manifestation from Dr. Joe. Definitely, hands down, very, very powerful technique. But then, since I'm a licensed hypnotherapist, I was picking bits and pieces from everywhere. And then I came up with my own technique. And I just thought that there's nothing wrong or right with any technique, but the recipe that I found, which worked for me, I absolutely had no money in my bank account and I wanted to get an apartment. How did I make that possible? It is still like a big question. How did I make that possible? I did not have the money. And I just thought, okay, so I want this. I want this apartment. I wrote down at that time on a piece of paper where I want to live. So I wrote down the name of the building. Where, which area, I wrote that down. Did I want to stay in high floor or low floor? I wrote that down. And then next to that, I wrote down the feelings that I will get if I move into that apartment. And every day I got up in the morning, I assumed and I felt that I'm getting up in my own apartment. This is where I'm getting up each and every morning. Those thoughts married with feelings gave me this result. And within no time, I got money coming into my bank account because I also run an HR consultancy and I signed up a few contracts. I asked for a favor. My clients gave me early payment. I got that into my bank account, which was very unexpected. And it happened within a time frame of 26 days. And I got my apartment. And then the next step was actually to get my dream job. And I always wanted to work in a hospital. I said, no, wellness centers maybe is not something that I want to work with. Maybe I wanted to expand my knowledge. And I just realized that if I go to a wellness center, I won't get that trigger of being around doctors and knowledgeable people and scientists and professors that I can get only in hospital setting. But hospital setting, getting into a hospital setting is not easy. So there is a lot of protocol, there are a lot of do's and don'ts, there are a lot of rules and regulations, and it's not very easy, believe me. And I said to them, I said to myself, well, I will get here and I want it and I want to see myself here. So every morning I woke up, I saw myself there. I played a couple of mind movies and I said, okay, I kept changing those mind movies and I said, okay, I want it here, I want this location, and I want it close to my house. Everything happened and I went with a proposal to the hospital and I said, well, you do have everything, but you don't have a wellness arm in the hospital. So I showed them a business model of having wellness as another cost center that will not only boost their brand, but also help so many people. And it's their way to give back to the society. And they said, okay, we like it. Let's have you on board. How did that become possible? It was next to impossible. So what I'm saying is if you do have your passion and you marry that passion with thought, and your body is advancing and following that equation, there is no way you will not recreate your personal reality. It is bound to happen.
That is amazing. I love it. How specific you were. And I think that's probably my takeaway from today's sessions. If you want something, you got to play the movie as if it's already happening. You're already there. You got to think about it constantly, all the time. You got to live through it. But then at the end of the day, you got to execute as well. And for the job seekers, if you want to go and build a dream career, the resume, the interview techniques and everything, you have to mold it accordingly. And then again, we talked about this. I have a free resume sessions going on right now. Register it. It's on my LinkedIn profile as well. And that's a registration link. Go ahead and register and you'd be ready in 1 hour to actually write your resume and see it. If you feel it, you're ready to go back to the dream role, or maybe switch for more dollar, or maybe you want to avoid the toxic environment, right? You got to do something. You can't just think about it and say, I wish. I feel like you got to do and execute it. And you cannot blame anybody but yourself if you do not execute it. And Gulni, thank you so much for coming in. And I know we're supposed to go for half an hour. There are a lot of questions. And last time when we did it, we were not able to take questions. So today I wanted to literally focus on the questions so people can walk away with the golden nuggets. And for those people who are watching us right now, listening to us right now, please put the 3 takeaways and share this. And you know what? You never know who else needs your post to inspire them. Gulneet, before I go, how do people get in touch with you? I've been literally showing everyone your profile with 2 million followers. And I know followers nothing, but again, you've earned it. And there's a reason you earn it. Please go and follow Gulneet. She's an influencer in HR with amazing background, plus amazing content as well. How do people work with you?
So if you do want to get in touch with me, email me on ask@gulneetchadda, my full name, .com, ask@gulneetchadda.com, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. It was pleasure interacting with everyone, sharing knowledge, sharing my experience. And you know, Sweta, I love to do that. And we'll be coming up with more stuff like this.
Perfect. So if you want anything like this coming up soon, like do you want us to collaborate, please tell me, thumbs up, like give me thumbs up, put it in the comments. Yes, I want Gulneet back. It was a great sessions. Please tag us, post it. Let us know. Thank you so much for coming in. And it was a great sessions. Give us a feedback. And 1, 2, 3, we are out. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks.